Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity is here. Christmas electricity is returning to the stream. But we don't have that much time this year to spread it around. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Jacob.
And I'm BB.
And together we are
the
Butter Bunch. Good grief. It turns derpier every day when we do that. Okay.
Hey, look, man, eventually we'll just hit the point where it's just gibberish.
Yeah.
You'll be able to hear the syllables and that's it.
My goodness, like Torbeck when he gets cursed to, have his tongue swollen.
No, it's like Hodor. Hold the door! Hold the door! Hodor!
Fair enough. I remember one time I without knowing who Hodor was at this point, I remember that the Warp Zone uploaded a rap battle between Hodor and Groot. Which the best part about that is that if you turn like the subtitles on, it has actual words to it.
That's brilliant. That's so good.
Yeah. And of course, it has like these people like like dancing or like hyping them up in the background, as if like
What's nice about them is that like their speech is inversed, because you have Groot, who is just I am Groot until the very end is we are Groot, and then you have Hodor, which starts out at hold the door, and now it's just Hodor.
Fair enough then. Okie dokie. Anyways, this video. I didn't think we'd be returning to the world of VHS Christmas carols. This is something that BB posted to our group chat on the Butter Bunch, and was like, oh, okay, available for time only. This will be interesting. We don't quite know what that means as of yet. I'm guessing they'll probably take the video down potentially like on the 21st when their actual performances start, maybe, or something, or maybe like after the entire season. I have no idea. Yeah. But the idea behind this is that you lot complain all the time anyway that we pause and talk forever. So we consider ourselves to be transformative enough to not replace the visual experience. However, as the disclaimer says in the description, if we receive like any, if for whatever unholy reason we receive a message from any of the Starkid members, like that's ever going to happen. But
hey guys, we're big fans of you. Please don't sue us.
Yes, precisely. That is also true. But if for some reason that were to happen, or we get like a video like takedown request or whatever like the YouTube process is, then we'll probably do either a combination of like blurring, unlisting, or muting, depending on what we consider or what the nature of the claim actually is.
Yep.
For the record, all our Starkid reviews get claimed anyway by them, so they get all the revenue from whatever happens. So
what I will say, the other option is, because you mentioned we might unlist it, what we could do is we could always unlist it, and then the next time that maybe it's public, if it is, we can put it back to public.
That would be amazing. Yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll do that. That's a good idea. Okay, but for now, we have if people don't know about this of this video, well, first of all, link in the description, but second of all, so we've got a trilogy of VHS Christmas carols this year, one of which is the same one as last year. So I'm not sure if we'll get to that, mostly because if we get 3 takedowns, our channel gets deleted. So we'll see. But the first one is a story that I actually was vaguely familiar with, thanks to Studio C of all people, because they did a sketch based on the ending of this particular book. But other than that, it took until a certain point for me to recognize, oh, wait, that's what this is. Okay. And also, at the time, I was actually doing some cleaning, so I've listened to this first performance, and I have my headphones on, but I haven't seen any of it. So this is going to be a half new experience for me, and I don't know about BB. Also, Aiden said that he was available, but
Yeah, so the context behind what I know of it is it showed my recommendations, and I was like, limited edition, and I didn't even look at the timestamps, so I thought it was like a trailer, like, hey, we're doing the main show.
Oh, they do have trailers, by the way, but this wasn't one of them.
Yeah, well, I thought it might be like a 5-minute, maybe 3-minute trailer or whatever, saying like, hey, we're doing the show down at whatever, and I was like, oh. Jacob might be interested in seeing that. I don't know if he has the money or means or desire, but I'll send this over to him. And then I saw that it was like an hour long, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
This isn't at all what that is. And then I stayed for a second, and I watched up to like the first minute or two, maybe of the first song, maybe a few seconds, before I realized, oh, this is just something completely different.
Yeah. And for the record, I actually do not have the means to go, because I'm pretty sure the only performances are in Chicago. So
I think so.
Yeah, the little bit, and also considering the fact that as of the events that people have seen Walking Wednesday this week,
you could walk to Chicago.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say that leaving Spain for me right now is not necessarily the best of ideas. I can do it, but there's some risks involved. So, yeah, I might even have to potentially stay here for another month and a half, depending on how things go.
Yeah, man. So, yeah. I've been behind on your Walking Wednesday stuff. Did the cops really just like throw you in there that hard? Jesus.
Okay, so for context, if people haven't seen Walking Wednesday, on my main channel, this week's Walking Wednesday was titled "My Experience with the Police" and no elaboration. So no, that's not what happened. They didn't come to me. I went to them. It's part of the immigration process.
Cops! I'm being held captive in Spain. I can't leave.
Good grief. Yeah. No, it's just part of the thing that you have to request like a specific document from them and present some things, and it was talking about how I got to that point and how my experience was still bizarre even within that context of things. So
wondering how you got to that point. Imagine going to the cops. So I bet you're wondering how I got here.
I didn't feature the cops in the video itself. But,
oh my god, crossover with the Spain police would be so good.
That would.
Dude, we need to do that. Or you need to do that, I guess, more accurately.
Yeah, I don't even know what the logistics of that would be.
I don't know, but that'd be so funny.
Okay, but anyways, TLDW, I guess. Leave it as I can leave Spain. Just until I get the certain thing from the police. Coming back would be an issue, and I have to stay here for a reason. So, yeah, I will not be heading off to. I will not be booking any impromptu flights to Chicago during the holiday season to watch Starkid. As much as I appreciate what they do, so. This is the best version for me at the moment. So
that's okay. They provided it for you. This is not a slime tutorial.
What slime tutorial? That went over my head, unfortunately.
I'll explain later.
Okay, fair enough then. So, but I guess well, yeah, we'll explain later. So it's time to begin then. So, without further ado, on with the review. Let's go back to specifically 1984, according to their trailers. Which I did watch, looking for more details, but I couldn't find much. I was trying to find out what does limited time mean. What is the what are the rules
yeah, that's
here?
The thing. I had no it just showed up, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I genuinely thought that they were just going off to do the main Christmas Carol musical as like a big holiday event.
Yeah, which by the way, I can only say one thing. You've got the keyboard with tassels, keyboard there, 4:3 ratio projector, modern laptop.
Coming soon are 3 tales.
They'll make some jokes about that sort of thing later.
Yeah, I can see why immediately when you're saying coming soon, you would get the impression that it was not this video in
Before we begin our throwback to the 80s, please.
Oh, someone pointed out in the comments as well of this that having the rewind or fast forward and the pause button for past, present, and future was a clever choice by them. And I didn't notice. I didn't actually watch it. I listened to it. So
Remember to silence your.
I will also say I like their stage. They made this stage of VHS tape.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true.
Also, please note your
Handwritten
exit in
labels
case of
and everything.
emergency. Lastly, while we acknowledge that there is a giant TV in front of you, this isn't your house, and bonus commentary has not been invented yet. So please keep your talking to a minimum.
Aha, bonus commentary. Here we are. Well, kind of, not really.
Yeah, it's been invented now.
Yeah.
Our feature presentation, VHS Christmas Carols.
And of course we're up this Abby. And already I recognize the sting of this. It's the same sting as like the VHS Christmas Carol Live from last year. Oh, I guess it technically is the one from last year. Because they posted the 2022 version? I don't know.
It's time to drag that box out of the attic. It's time to pull that book down from the shelf. It's time to play that record, and while you're at it, why don't you pour a glass of eggnog for yourself?
Yeah, by the
Eggnog,
way,
so good.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this last year about eggnog and how I have never actually had it before. Still have not. I was just going to say that, having the box of Beatles in the attic is also becoming a lost tradition nowadays.
It's time to find
VHS
that
itself is a lost tradition nowadays.
Yes, I know, but the point of... I assume that the box in the attic was because people kept their old VHSs somewhere in, out of sight in general.
Sure.
Because it's a lost tradition. So that was already, yeah.
CRM,
Which I do think is interesting. I was talking to someone the other day about because back in the day there actually used to be a bunch of different physical mediums to how you would interact with things like film, right? There, you had your CDs and tapes for music. You would have VHS and Laserdisc and such for TV and such, but then as things went on, it all kind of became Blu-ray, right? But what I think is interesting is that despite all these mediums kind of being lost now, or not lost, but not mainstream, it's curious that despite them not existing, we find ourselves craving the aesthetic of it. You ever notice that, especially nowadays, we've had a big resurgence, especially in the aesthetic of VHS. But we never really brought it back, which is a weird thing to me.
That doesn't surprise me too much because people like to recognize the good stuff about the VHSs, but not the actual logistics of putting them together. All the stuff describing here in this song, plugging in the VCR boxes from the attic, all of that stuff. Yeah, people don't like to go through that process. I've noticed it's kind of like how whenever there's whenever people get nostalgic, like to watch an old show or an old movie or something, they look for the 4K remasters or something. They want the nostalgia, but they want the modernity of it as well. They want the modern, they want the improved version, basically.
Sure.
And pop in that old VHS so we can begin.
Okay, hold on a sec. The living room I'm watching this, it only has a VHS player. Okay, well, I guess, never mind. I guess you do live in a time capsule, I suppose.
Yeah, how are you watching us?
Again and again.
We just print out this stream and just convert it to VHS. It's not the right resolution. We're cropped out, so you can't see us.
There's actually there's actually a burning strip of tape right now. Which for those of you who don't know how old movies and stuff was made, you're not gonna understand at all what that's referencing, but
which is also kind of furthers the idea of people liking the aesthetic but not the actual physicality.
When the Christmas tracks are spinning again and the shopping bags are filling again, so get out that cash you're itching to spend. But before all that, Let me tell you, friends, it's time for VHS Myths.
Okay, this is interesting. So we had like the cheers for people like in the shadows as they appeared, I guess, to start the show. But then only as soon as the lights went up did everyone else get the cheers as well. Not that the musicians get more of a crowd appraisal than the actual performers.
Okay. Abby says, my dad got a new TV when he moved out to live with his wife. He left the TV, but took the Blu-ray player.
I guess you just didn't have a DVD player in the middle of that. And when I say in the middle of that, I mean, you know, DVD was around relatively for much longer than either VHS or Blu-ray on either extreme. So that's what surprised me more than anything else.
It's time for giving and wishes, for reminiscing about Christmas. It's time for sipping the Swiss. It's time for VHS Myths.
We're pulling out 3 tapes from the collection.
3 classic tales from days of Christmas past.
We're blowing up the dust
I
for
see.
some reflection.
I thought your grandma has the more up-to-date version. You know, normally it's the other way around, but fair enough.
This
you
is
know?
a time capsule. This is some alternate history. This is in some other world where the trajectory is all kinds of wonky. What the fuck?
Is your TV like a 4x3 box as well? Does it come on with static?
So stick around, because we saved the best for last. We've heard these stories tons before, we know how they end. Yet still
Yeah, I knew how one of them ended, but not how it began.
we finally hit rewind and play it again. 'Cause the kids
Okay, now that makes sense to me, because I heard that cheer from, you know, again, when I was cleaning, and I was like, what are they cheering about? Okay, the dancing. Makes a lot of
our
sense.
Christmas listening again, and the choirs are Christmas singing again, and it all comes back, and we're thinking again.
And it's time for VHS
3
Myths.
stories all in the same vein, 3 stories all public domain, 3 stories all on cassette tape. Time for VHS Myths.
I just noticed something. You know how you have like the traditional drum sets in the background, you can hear like even like cymbals and everything.
Sure.
And meanwhile, Meredith's just playing the bongos. That means they must have like other instruments that are in the background of this that aren't on the stage.
3 stories happy and tragic, 3 stories matches and magic, 3 stories pulled from the attic. Time for VHS Myths. We're not talking about reindeer.
We're not talking about elves.
We're not talking about a manger.
Talking a look inside ourselves.
It's time to count your pennies, trying to find the perfect present.
It's time
To beg for pennies is appropriate.
Such a nice
lesson.
dress. That's such a nice dress.
Oh, yeah.
to keep your many pennies.
I'm not sure if it's supposed to be nice or not, because she's a little match girl. I was supposed to have a nice dress, but there you go. It's like what Aiden says, you know. He likes it when even when characters are supposed to have like ugly designs, that they still look good while doing so, which I always find to be very, very oxymoronic. But there you go.
Man, that's a mindset fit for Hollywood.
Yes, it very much is. But that's like half his complaints about gacha designs. Where when I say to things like, okay, this guy's not supposed to look good, it's like, yeah, but they can still look cute. It's like, what do you mean? We're doing this again every time.
It's time to take a journey through the past, future, and present. It's time
To find that VCR.
It's time.
To plug it in.
It's time.
To pop in that VHS.
It's time.
So we can begin.
I like the implication of this song being that there's a box of VHS tapes in the attic, but the VCR is still missing, like it's not also in the attic.
It's time to put your cell phones away now. Let's get this show underway now. It's time to hit play now. Time for VHS Myths.
I like how all of them are different sizes.
In a tiny apartment upon a tiny bed.
Okay, hold on. 81. So you know how I said in the trailer said 1984? I think they've been doing VHS Christmas Carol since 2021, so they just rewind whatever 40 years is from where they are currently. But I guess they didn't update the song because I guess probably rhyme scheme or something.
82. Little tiny
Oh, never mind. 82. Okay, sure.
Della was counting in her head.
83.
Counting all the money she'd saved for months and months.
84.
Hoping that this one thing could work out just this once.
85.
But her hope shrank a bit near the end of the count.
86.
And her heart sank a bit at the final amount.
$1.87.
Okay, I wonder what they're going to do in 2027 if they have to update that or not.
So
But also, she's counting all of her money. It doesn't seem immense. I wouldn't want to get sued by Starkid for $1.87. And if people don't get that, watch our Halloween Grinch review. That's there. There you go.
I said this in the chat, by the way. I genuinely think that one review is the epitome of modern Butter Bunch. I think it has everything that this channel stands for, especially in these reviews.
Yeah, except for the four of us, but there you go. Yeah.
Well, no, and that's exactly it, though, right? It's not even the right amount. It is everything that you expect.
Yeah, half of us being missing. Yeah,
It has a goofy and chaotic aspect. I mean, we sat there and danced, and then cheered when we had ads played. The absurdity of watching some niche, lost to time Grinch movie that no one knows about. The idea of us not even all being there. We mixed in like a little bit of politics in there. I mean, it was everything. We had the tangent. It was everything.
You know what? Fair enough. I think Magic goes with Sydney Bullpup and the girls just want to have fun video. That does make sense. I think we said last year that's in the videos become live that they were taking inspiration from specific celebrities. Which fair enough. I have not seen that the original like Sydney Bullpup video. Again, I've heard the song. I need to watch more music videos. Apparently, that's what I'm learning today.
That's it. All I've got. $1.87. So much less than I thought. How's that from my financial sense? Each time I count it, the amount's the same. Each time I count it, it's a mounting
hold on.
shame.
Hey, we'll pause. Hey, you say the amount's the same, do you? December 1984, October 2024. Wrong. Over those years, it bounced up like $4. It's like $5.61. Not that much.
See, that's nothing we did in that video. We just calculated the inflation rate from 1970 something, whenever the Grinch movie came out. That one.
I think so. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Should be because that is a lot smaller than I expected, but.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, fair. But
no, it was right. Yeah, 568. Okay, I went to a different. Yeah, same number. Okay.
Okay, but also, you know, the implication of this song is that she's counted the same amount like multiple times as as of right now, not like this is much less than she thought. A little bit of interesting wording there, being like, okay, this is much less than I thought, but I've also counted multiple times. No, she counted multiple times now. Okay.
Each time I count it, it's a losing game. I guess losing is my middle name. Any other day I would say whatever. We usually could make our own way together, and we've had a lot of money. Literally never. Still we're doing okay. If it were any other day, but it's Christmas Eve.
Okay, I guess, you know, Kurt Mega gets his own applause, even though he's already shown up on stage.
Christmas Eve, our first Christmas Eve ever. He's the best part of
It's
my
like that one
life.
SpongeBob episode where he had the talent show or whatever, and Squidward kept on getting booed and had tomatoes thrown at him and everything. And then SpongeBob went out to go clean, and everyone cheered. And so you spent like the next minute or two of like you know, you would pull out like SpongeBob, and then you pull out Squidward, and it'd be like, "Yay, boo! Yay, boo!" And then you do like the hand of SpongeBob, and it's great.
Believe. And
This
gift
Christmas Eve,
can be
you're more
bought.
beautiful than ever.
How's that for being a loving wife?
Good morning, Della. Did you sleep all right?
Not really, I was kind of up all night.
What's wrong, my darling? Are you sick?
Not quite, I was probably just excited for tonight.
I could stay, but I gotta work.
It's okay, Jim.
I can't believe my boss is a
It's
jerk.
really okay, Jim.
Seriously,
Wait, is another character called Jer or Jerry? They have too many of these in
go
Starkid.
like berserk.
And I hate him, still we're doing alright.
Well, then I'll see you tonight for Christmas Eve.
Here it is.
Christmas Eve,
All I
the
got.
best Christmas Eve ever.
$1.87.
I hate to leave
And no
on
gift
Christmas Eve,
can be
but
bought
we'll soon be back together.
with
$1.87.
Christmas Eve.
It's not about the money. It's the things
Christmas
that
Eve.
money can buy.
Christmas
But
Eve.
everything costs money. Like a gift
Christmas
for a
Eve.
really great guy. But what can you buy?
Oh, that's clever. They just go like bye at the same time as saying bye. Okay.
$1.87.
Wow. This is
1980.
actually maybe the most
amounts.
powerful Starkid song that we've seen in a while, personally. Yeah, that
We
that
have
ending
watched
bit-
Starship recently, so
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, a lot of them are like good, but none of them are quite as like personally impactful as like how this one especially ended. Like the idea of like $1.87. It's not the money. It's what it gets you. But everything costs money, and it's all too much. And I want to do good things, and I know that money can't give me happiness, but the things that it can attain do. But the game is actively rigged to squeeze you for more than you have, and you are left in just this constant despair of wanting more for the betterment of either you or those you love, and being rigged.
Yeah, at the moment it seems like that, but the way that this particular story goes, it goes well. Studio C kind of does this in their sketch, where they kind of play themselves to a certain extent. But yeah, at the moment it does seem like that. By the way, most Theater Kid ending pose ever.
Something simple yet cool, yet something refined. Something kind of familiar, yet one of a kind. Something easy to love, yet hard to find.
You'll notice, I think, from great pause, right? You'll notice something about this particular story that I don't believe it's very long. So most of the songs are going to be about roughly the same things as each other.
Something sweet and smart to touch his heart and totally blow his mind. Something grand, something great.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the impactfulness the first one had, but this particular song already feels completely different. It
feels different. I'm not saying it's the same in like the tone or like the emotion. I mean it is about the same thing as the last one, basically.
No, right. But what I mean is that, and again, this is heavily biased, but the way it reads at this point for me is the first song. It was very much more about the personal and domestic suffering related to capitalism. Whereas this one it feels almost like a conversation that I would hear about the debate and give and take between capitalism and art itself.
And art itself?
Yeah.
Why art?
Listen to the lyrics and I think you might see where I'm getting at.
No, I have been listening to the lyrics. In fact, about the lyrics of the previous song, actually, I'm going to disagree with you on the grand scheme of like the domestic effects of capitalism because at the start, the start she says that I wouldn't count any other day. We've had money literally never. They don't seem to. They seem to most of the time want for nothing, but it's only because of Christmas itself that she wants to like go out of her way to give a great gift to her new husband. And that is that, and again, that's what we're seeing in this song again for the second time. It's just like that line about it's not about money, about the gift, it's about the things that money can buy. That's where it transports me, but that's right at the end of the song. I wouldn't call that the point of the entire thing. Because
it's right at the end, but it's right at the end, but to me it reads as a thesis.
Okay, the thesis you're supposed to state at the beginning of your presentation, not the end of it. That kind of defeats.
Not in every situation. I've found in another piece recently, actually, where I would argue that the thesis is at the end.
I would say if I asked my dad if he thinks he would have got his PhD if he presented his thesis at the end of his presentation, he might have some thoughts about that.
Sure, I mean academically that is a no-no, but I think artistically it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay.
Something like a gift check made, 'cause it's perfect. Something he can feel proud of. Something he can't help but love. Something that fits like a glove, 'cause it's perfect.
Yeah, I'm still not hearing the art part of this yet. It's because mainly about like trying out the object. Maybe it's because I know what she's going to get him. Maybe that's why.
For him, how he makes me smile even when I'm sad. How he laughs at my jokes even when they're bad.
Did she just nay?
She sure did.
Just whipped and nay.
He absolutely did. But no, I think where...
How long has that dance been around?
Probably not this long, I can tell you that. No, because it sounds to me like an interesting conversation of this back and forth of I want to do something new and heartfelt and sincere and powerful, while at the same time saying that I want spectacle and familiarity and what one is used to and going to the old tricks and trying to find the middle ground.
You're saying I want to do something. She's saying she wants to give something.
Yes.
So
and yes, exactly. Do something, give something. It's the same thing artistically.
Yes, but if
to do is to give.
Okay, well that goes into the idea of like when this is talking about art in the first place. If it isn't, then you don't have the connection there.
No, but everything so far has led to this interpretation of that.
Everything so far, including the idea that the entire song was about the thing that was at the end, the last one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is why I'm not coming to the same conclusion here.
How he's shown me a love I never had. How to gift the kind of gift that captures all of that. Gotta be something proper and profound. Something you wanna show around. Telling everybody, hey, check this out. 'Cause it's perfect for everything he's given me. This thing truly needs to be something unbelievably perfect.
And tangible, apparently.
Yeah, see, and now it's talking about box office returns and how this leads to into the continuation, and how now we're talking about word of mouth and advertisement.
Okay, this is something we missed out on the Grinch review. The quintessential idea of a Butterfunk stream going into one of BB's very, very outlandish statements.
I don't think it's that outlandish. This is completely logical as far as an interpretation goes for me.
Of course. Yeah, for you, exactly. That's the
Yeah.
key phrasing there. But once again, the end part is the important bit here.
He's perfect for me.
Perfect for you. That was perfect for him.
Exactly. Again, it goes
Exactly what do
right
you mean
back
exactly?
to exactly. Again, that is talking about Hollywood.
You haven't mentioned Hollywood until literally right now.
Yeah, well, no, it's been talking about Hollywood this entire song.
You just said again as we talk about Hollywood. The first time you said the word Hollywood.
Well, yeah, that's what no, that's just not no.
Okay,
This
fine. Second.
No, the entire song it was clearly about Hollywood, and it's talking about the consumption and advertisement, and the idea of the continuous Ouroboros, and this idea of familiarity or artistic passion, and then at the end it clearly goes from "this is for you and for your love" to "this is me and my greed."
This is the reason that we have that we're not a replacement for the original thing.
Before we move on, there's some things you need to know.
Yes, tell us this story now, after 2 song numbers.
In order to follow the next part of the show. Everyone has something they treasure most of all. Some special something could be big, it could be small.
Again, I just noticed now, watching this, the actual video for the first time, how many instruments they have in the background.
Jim and Della each had a thing that they held most dear. But I'm not gonna say everything, they can take it from here.
You barely said anything at all. You just have.
Yeah, wait, what was I meant to get from this preface?
Everyone has something that they enjoy. It's definitely the fact we are the only 2 important characters in this story about to tell us what their things are.
If a queen should ever be living next door to me, I know that she'd envy one thing. Probably she'd stare at me very adoringly. Not even to mention the king.
Don't talk
I
about
got
the king.
no fancy threads, I don't have fancy jewelry.
Are you sure about that? I mean, now that I can see your outfit,
Again,
I don't know.
I cannot stress enough how this is talking about art and capitalism.
This feels more like Hollywood because you mentioned before about Aiden actually. Okay, fair enough. You said it was Hollywood 3 times before, and not 2. But yeah, you meant Aiden's Hollywood mentality of ugly, but in a pretty way.
Well, in this instance, I don't necessarily think about it this way. I think it's more so about this idea of, to the normal people like us, we can clearly see, no, you're wearing something quite fancy. But this is someone in power. This is someone who wants control and for this network. And so with what they have, they have
want control.
Exactly.
Wouldn't she have it already?
Not for her.
I mean, also, if she's how in power is she at the moment? If she considering what we know about this character, what power does she possess?
According to her, none. But that's just it. According to her, right?
Okay, so what power do you interpret that she has right now?
Well, because at this point, it's referring to the adoration of the audience in the fandom, but there is a rising greed, and there is a lack of consciousness, of understanding how much she already has in needing the more.
Needing the more. Okay. Just even want the more for herself at the moment. To me. Oh no. I think I'm plugging the microphone by accident.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I pulled the cable with my foot back. So
Yeah, it's been slightly staticky, but it's nothing absurd.
Okay. I don't know. That might just be like a game thing. I'll turn myself down a little bit anyway. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it reminds me of particularly like Christmas movies up until about the 90s, where you have the poor family that lives in like a huge like spacious apartment somewhere. It's like, what do you mean that you're poor? What more do you want right now?
Sure.
Yeah, that's Hollywood for you.
Yeah.
So why do they
By the
turn
way, chat
heads
has just not weighed in on either of our viewpoints on this. Hey, do you guys? What do you guys think about this musical so far?
I think our chat have realized by now that the more that they talk about the things, the longer it takes us to get through the video.
It's fair.
stare at yours truly, my head. Nothing can compare with my head. Whether it's up or it's down, it's the talk of the town. My head, my head.
So you might be wondering now why exactly this character wears a cap if her hair is supposed to be like, the big feature that everyone, is the talk of the town and all of that stuff.
It's a cool
I'm pretty
cap.
sure that comes up. Yeah.
To be fair, it is actually like a genuinely sick cap. That's quite cool. I like it.
It is true. Just some seems to go against the song a little bit.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think maybe you can kind of be like, oh, the hair's long, so maybe that's why it's not such a big deal. But
Yeah. Well, yeah, but then she said whether it's up or it's down. How up is it going to be?
that's fair. Yeah.
There's words since I've got to my not gonna lie. I've been drawing, so I haven't been doing my normal yapping. Okay,
That's
fair
fair.
enough. All right.
Happy drawing.
Yes.
If ever I come out of eye with the president, I know just how jealous he'd be. So, not that I'm like super wise or intelligent, still he'd probably wanna be me.
Okay, this is gonna go into one of the reasons that what they like the core reason this modern adaptation doesn't work entirely of this tale.
I got no flashy job, I got no flashy talents. I'm a bit of a slob with a real lack of balance.
Don't worry, your wife has power, so it's okay.
But my wife...
Yeah, see, there we go. That's what I was gonna say. That kind of watch has not been a thing for the most part. Like 60 years before this is supposed to be set.
I have a watch like that. What do you mean?
Case in point.
Okay, hey.
Watch. Whether it's morning or night, I've got the time with my watch.
I like how they just use watch for this rhyme scheme rather than the compare and everything else.
Well, what is odd, I will say, is I really do have a watch. I don't think it's that ancient, but I do recognize you're right. It's not like the main sort of watch. But there is a modern watch in trend that is like this big fancy thing. That's still a continuous thing. Why didn't they just use like a Rolex or something?
Well, there's a reason for that, and it will become clear as the video continues.
Watch.
I love the way that it shines.
The way it catches the light. I love that it's mine.
It's gray or black.
I feel proud
Every time
I take out my hair.
Oh, never mind. It was just the lighting. No, you're right. It's
Hold on.
silver.
watch,
My hair.
I feel posh.
I feel classy.
I feel hot.
I feel fancy.
I thought she was going to say sassy when I heard the song first.
Elegant and deluxe. Feel like $1,000,000 bucks.
And of course, Starkid Harmony is doing what they do best.
My heart. You wanna know what time
Nothing
it
can
is?
compare with my hair.
You know I know what time
Whether
it
it's
is.
winter
You don't know
or
what time it
spring,
is.
oh, my favorite thing is my hair.
Yeah, this man lives for the day that someone asked him what time it is, and he's like, "This is my moment." Well, you see.
My hair.
Also, by the way, remember that the watch is hanging from his hand.
My hair.
Oh no, never mind. Forget that. I just said that. I haven't been getting a chat, but Janae is so pretty as Stella. Oh my goodness.
I will say, yeah, he was like, I feel pretty hot. It's like, not compared to her, but okay.
It's like, you don't have to say it, okay? let the man be.
Well, you know, I didn't say it, but you know, while Abby's talking about you know his being gay and finding is some certain women attractive here, ooh la la.
Certain women, the one woman on screen currently.
The one having the time of her life,
Oh, it's
yeah.
Meredith, okay. Yeah. Gotta be gay today.
Getting back to Della, now roaming through the street.
Yep, okay, here we go. Once again,
Still in her dilemma, but refusing to be beat. Searching for a something and keeping fingers crossed that she might find something high value but low cost. Something worthy of Jim. Something perfect for
something grand, something great, something hidden.
Again, they don't have much material to work with, so you've got to reprise the song immediately. Not immediately, but afterwards.
Something like a gift, checkmate, 'cause it's perfect. Something he can feel proud of, something he can't help but love, something that fits like a glove, 'cause it's perfect.
Della knew right away this was it.
A platinum watch chain, what a sight.
Right there in the display.
There we
a
go.
Perfect fit.
That's why it couldn't be a Rolex.
Something so beautiful and bright.
Jim had no chain, just a leather strap. What an upgrade this could be from that.
What a wonderful gift for Jim, just made for him, I'm positive.
The thing is that he doesn't even like wear the watch on like his side how you would wear like a watch chain in general, so the chain is essentially pointless.
For everything he's given me, this thing truly needs to be. This will make our Christmas Eve so
$21.00.
okay.
Difficult to tell, like it's a 21 rather than like fire one.
Wow,
I heard 91.
that's a lot.
That sure is a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in 1984.
Yeah. I wouldn't waste all my finances for $91.00.
$21.00.
There we go, 21. Which is still a fair amount. Have you guys still got the inflation site open?
I do.
That sounds terrible.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have the inflation. Yeah, I see. Yeah, $63.80.
Okay.
So much more.
So much more indeed, yes, correct.
How's that from my financial sense? I know I
We haven't bought it yet, so, I mean,
shouldn't
it's not
even
financial
be
sense.
surprised. Writing's been on the wall 1,000 times. Watch chains like this are meant for other guys. Just go home, Della. At least you've tried.
Or you can look in another shop, I don't know. Just the way the look they give is like, well, you've got a choice here. So you shouldn't, but your man is special, isn't he?
It's not about the money. It's the
Another
things
reprise, yep.
that money
Reprise.
can't
Could say it wrong.
buy. But everything costs money, like a gift for a really great guy.
And that's what we call the shadow gesture in theater.
Before she knew it, she was out the door. Moving so fast, she barely touched the floor. Swift and determined,
I'm in a hurry.
down the street she tore till she stopped in front of the hair goods store.
I mean, if it weren't for the fact she's wearing 2 bracelets and 2 necklaces right now, that probably would be worth a significant amount. Yeah, this would be an interesting idea. But no, now that I see the video, what on earth are you doing?
Excuse me, I
Talk about financial sense here.
don't mean to intrude.
And that belt as well probably is worth a fair amount, actually.
Yeah, hi there.
Do you buy hair? I need money soon.
I buy hair.
But someone in the comments said, I buy hair is my favorite part of this. It's like, yeah, that is a very interesting line here.
I need to buy
Guy in a hurry? No. Gal in a hurry? Yeah, but plot twist, she's actually like Gary Swift's mother.
Dude, I thought that said gay in a hurry, no gal in a hurry.
I'm still gay.
No, Mom,
Just a
it's
reminder
not a
I'm gay.
phase.
I'll praise hard gals for days. No, Mom, it's not a phase, 'cause I'm gay. Moving on.
gifts for my dude.
Yeah, and I care. That'll be
Yeah, that's
20.
actually how the mom ends that conversation. Moving on.
I've said this
Eat your green
before.
beans. You can be gay tomorrow.
I've said this before, but if I ever have kids and one of them comes out as gay, I'll just say, like, okay, fair enough. What do you want for lunch? That's it. Just like.
Okay, just make it fast.
You probably don't want it to be that fast because otherwise you're just like you're like, you know, stop. You know what you want that.
Man, imagine getting rid of guys sure looks like getting rid of artistic intent in order to trade it off with spectacle.
I don't necessarily know about the artistic intent part, but then again, I'm biased because I've shaved my hair on stage for artistic intent in the past. But it does feel like giving up maybe like your individuality
Sure,
to be part of a system, maybe. Yeah.
I could see that.
A lot of clapping in shadows today.
You know that feeling when you show up to school wearing a new.
Okay, I've got a story to tell now. So in choir rehearsals today, now the director has decided to include a few like dance moves or something, but like very basic ones, basically. Like it's essentially just like doing this during one of the songs, and then like that, and then this again.
Man,
That's
but
it.
those feet
But
really
that's it.
going hard though.
That's well, I mean, you say that, but the like everyone else was. Well, I say this. There's like 3 other people next to me. They're like, "What are we doing here?" Okay, this is weird now. We're not standing still and sing anymore. So, yeah, we need to work on that a little bit if that's going to be part of the whole number. Assuming there even is a number, because at the moment it's kind of up in the air whether or not we're going to be performing anything, because that was only just brought up yesterday during like the big rehearsal with everyone, and it seems like it's like, okay, well, give me your thoughts whether you want to share the things we've been working on. To which I say, of course, let's share. Okay, moving on.
Man, they must hate you. Imagine answering everything in song. Meanwhile, they can't even move their feet right.
I didn't
You
actually
walking
answer this
feeling like you're cooler.
I'm joking.
And suddenly you doubt it. Cause a voice in your head starts making trouble again. The voice of your doubt and dread. And when Della got home, sitting with her thoughts alone, the voice in her head spoke up and said, "Oh no, what'd you do this time? What were you thinking? What did you do?"
Gotta also just I was gonna say praise Lauren Lopez in the middle of this, just like the way she's like what are you thinking? Like just really giving it her all here. So just gotta say.
Oh, no, you messed it up big time. What were you thinking? Now look at you. What'd you do? What'd you do? What you do? What you do? What you do? Now look at you.
You know that
Yeah,
feeling
thank you.
when you sell all your
Okay, this is why I think they had the cap on before, so that there was the I thought it was like that was what would like hold like the wig together
hair
eventually.
just to buy a watch chain. You start off feeling like it's answering a prayer, and suddenly it's
Man.
insane.
Now, Abby, correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels butch goated.
Potentially. I also like how the wig is like slightly messy, but again, not actually too bad in the grand scheme of things. But then again, it's all like, you know, it's bad for her. This is about this song to me is more about like, you know, everyone's like individual body issues or what they perceive to be like part of like their own self-image. You know, rather. So of course they're going to exaggerate whatever effect they had. Although I will say that again, as I was cleaning listening to this, I imagine that she just came on with a full-on bald cap. That was infinitely funnier to me as a visual. But there you go.
Because a voice has begun asking you what have you done, and you just wanna run away.
I essentially just do like death staring all the like the chorus and like, what are you saying? I'm saying the same things, but how dare you?
Each time you look in the mirror, you're kind of filled with the fear of Jimmy coming back here and then hearing.
Here's the question: if they look in the mirror, how many mirrors in that do they have in their house? Because again, you know, you think that would have, you know, mirrors can fetch a hefty price if they're in good condition. So, I would say butch, femme butch, since she's still dressed P feminine.
Pretty.
Okay. If anyone is butch, I feel like Jim could be a he/him lesbian. Okay. Again, feels like an oxymoron there. I have to dissect
No,
that
it's
one.
that is more so referring to generally non-binary people, or just in general genderqueer people that are usually AFAB at birth.
Why would,
but
okay, if they're non-binary, why would they call he/him anything?
Because that's what they chose to go by, and that's what's most comfortable for them.
Okay.
That's why we had that whole argument during Has Been Hotel, where I was like, I don't know that the pronoun means quite as much in regards to gender identity as we were letting on, because you do have things like this.
Yeah, so that was a pre-recorded video. That may be one of the rants that I cut out eventually, because it was like, this is going on for way too long. That's the thing I can do when we have pre-recorded stuff, is I can be like, okay, this is run its course. We need to nip this in the bud, people. Anyway, I know that too dressed like that. Well, okay. My mum's ex is a he/him lesbian. Okay. I just never heard the term before, because it feels like, you know, again, if instead of identifies as he/him, then would identify therefore as lesbian, because of the definition of lesbian, what that means. But there you go.
Yeah. Traditionally, you would have the pronouns matching with gender, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the pronouns can be a bit contradictory on purpose, and that is just their own identity.
Feels like it defeats the purpose of the classification in that case, but there you go.
Oh no! Down with your head, girl. You thinking? What did you do?
And now Joey Richter's the one who's like pulling in like the.
Oh no! Watch chain hair, no hair. You thinking? I'm leaving you. What you do? What you do? What you do?
And again, the constant fear of, oh, if I'm not as pretty as the day we met, will my partner still be into me?
What you do? What you do? What did you do?
Hey, that's extreme, I know. Jim isn't mean, I know. But still, my heart's pounding. It's just anxiety, it lives inside of me. But still, I can't stop doubting.
That sounded like a either Imagine Dragons or a Skillet line.
Honestly, yeah.
All she heard from down the hall, there were distant footsteps sounding.
Christmas Eve, our first together.
Oh no!
By the way, I like how the implication is that this man walks like this. Anyway.
That's like the woman walk, but slightly more elegant.
Get down the hall. Right down the hall. This is too good for you. What you do? No, you can hear him through the wall. Right what'll he do? What you 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 do?
It's a good staging though, to keep them out of sight.
What'll he do?
Jim stood in the door with a look upon his face.
Oh, I like how Brian was like almost like the door for a second there. Like he went through.
A strange expression that Della couldn't place.
Jimmy, it's still me. Don't look like that. Just me without any hair.
Any
You have quite a bit more than most people. In fact, you have more than him.
Jimmy, don't give me a heart attack. Say something, say you don't care. My hair grows back so swift, Jim, really, I swear.
Okay, that line there, my hair goes back so swift, that defeats like a lot of the idea of the sacrifice involved in this. Because it's like, oh, well, you know, this will be like a very temporary thing. It doesn't feel like, oh, I've sacrificed something like forever or anything. You know how like in Little Women, they have the scene where like Joe cuts her hair. It's like, oh no, your only beauty or something. It's like, well, clearly now this is something that potentially she's gone through in the past, unless she's like in denial right now. It's like, oh yeah, this will grow back quickly. It's like, this doesn't take me years to grow.
But to see you without a gift, Jim, I couldn't bear it.
Your hair.
Yeah, see, she can still brush it. What do you mean without any hair?
Your hair.
It's Christmas
Gotta be careful with this, so shadow gestures.
Christmas Eve, our first ever together. I couldn't see you not receive.
You're more beautiful than ever.
I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Ella, my darling.
I do still think she's quite cute, even with the shorter hair.
Yes, which is again part of the problem with the presentation of this, but ultimately still true.
Could ever do to your hair that ever could start me doubting the woman who I gave my heart to.
I mean, but there's a question that comes from me. What about your jewelry? I'd press the earrings as well. I can see the earrings properly now as too. What are you talking about? Financial sense.
There's not a thing I'd rather do than be right here with you. But if you open this, you may understand that look I had.
Della wasn't okay, caught by surprise.
It's the Combs, Jim, how'd you know?
She passed this store every day and fantasized.
I guess again now we didn't see that scene before. It's more important to reprise some of the songs we already
When you
had.
saw them, your face would glow.
Two beautiful combs for her beautiful hair. Not combs that comb, but combs you wear.
What a lovely, perfect pair. I can't wait to try them in my...
Yeah, no, you can still do it. The 100% that kind of hairstyle works with those combs really well.
Cry, Bella, don't cry.
Yeah, according to you, it grows back. Just wait a couple weeks. Oh, I don't know how long it will be, but probably more than a couple weeks. Wait a couple months and, wear them then.
Koala bear, I don't know. 80s jewelry was all costume / plastic, not worth much. To be fair,
$21.
To be fair, modern jewelry oftentimes is not worth as much as it's priced either.
That is also true, yeah. You know, low value but high cost, the complete opposite of what Della wanted.
Yes.
Wait, I almost forgot to give you what I got. A fancy platinum chain for your fancy.
Wait, no, why would you? Wait, no, what? Wait, you said it before he opened it.
Yeah.
That ruins the surprise. That's like half the fun of Christmas.
Yeah, the whole point of wrapping gifts up so you don't see what they are. Otherwise, people just wouldn't bother with putting them into like any sort of container.
Strand of hair they took. Go on, try it on. Let's have a look. What's that look?
Hello, my darling. Let's
You can probably guess where this is going if you haven't heard the story before.
It's definitely sold the watch.
another day. They're too nice to use right now. Just be close to me. Let's get cozy tonight. There's not a thing I'd rather do than be right here with you. Della, to buy those special combs I bought. I sold the watch.
There you go.
What's it?
And that moment in the Studio C sketch, they were like, "What did you do that for? My hair's gone!" Like, again, more hair was taken in the Studio C version.
Sometimes I can't recall why people do it at all, why people give.
I
Why
remember
make
us
the
talking
sad
about that
roof-
actually back in high school as a question in English. This is whenever we were reading A Christmas Story, Christmas Carol. Yeah, Christmas Story is the one with Fragile. I know that because I have the leg lamp myself. But December 1st to the end of December. I put it right next to my window, right in the spirit of it.
Okay.
But I remember us talking about that because she's like, hey, I know, we have a lot of different sorts of people here. Does everyone here celebrate Christmas? And a lot of people would say yes, including me. I celebrate Christmas technically in the sense of I celebrate the name, but as is known, I'm not Christian. I don't necessarily celebrate under the religious pretense. And so when everyone was being asked, well, why do we give things? What is the gifts and all that? The logic I put behind that question of why do we do it at all is kind of against what a lot of us are taught as children, right? We're always told, oh, it's not all about the gifts. I disagree, it is. And the reason I say this is because to me, the gifts are karma in a sense. It is this idea of a good karma, of those that you are family with, your friends, those you have done right by, are now doing right by you in return. And it is this Ouroboros of this reward for goodwill and therefore a product of human kindness. And so that's my reason.
Let me know that B managed to work in the word Ouroboros twice in this one stream. That's quite impressive. But in any case, yeah. The Nostalgia Critic actually once said that Christmas is effort. It's all about the effort that you put into either the gift or the presents or like presents as in like with a CE, not gifts or presents being two different things. Presents like your physical being there, or the songs that you sing, the traditions that you have, etc., the food you prepare, those kind of things. It's all about putting that effort in for those other people, exactly like that. So yeah, I can see where that comes from, and yeah, that ties it back into the people themselves. But yeah, that is why they give what's in a gift, which is their whole, which was the real question behind this. Actually, in the trailers they do say that they make a question like what's in a gift. Also, according to Frederick Valentine, the gift of the Magi is set at the turn of the century, early 1900s. Yeah, of course, because watch chains were a thing at that point for the most part, and prices from $100.07 to $21 are from that original O. Henry version. Yeah, which again feels like a thing that they might have considered updating, considering that I didn't bring this up really, but having $1.87 of savings even in the 1980s was kind of pushing it.
Well, see, and what I think is funny as well, and I don't necessarily think, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I do think it's funny when you look at that as like the wage gaps between men and women. Because you have
21 $1.87. I thought it was like a 77% difference or something. That
no,
didn't
but
feel
no, I
right.
mean in simply the concept, right? In the larger wage gap, because you have her trying to get this thing because it's what she can almost afford, and then you have him trying to get something that is just so much more expensive because he can afford more.
Okay, here we go. So $1.87 in 1900 is equivalent to purchasing power to about $70.27 today.
Jesus.
Which feels significantly, it's more noteworthy as savings.
That's crazy,
not a lot.
yeah.
Not a lot, but still, 124 years is a long time in terms of, okay, here we go. All right, $21 in 1900 is worth $788.25.
This is such a crazy difference. Guys.
Now we're getting into some real numbers here. Which, by the way, means that Della spent $700+, nearly $800 on a watch chain. Financial sense.
Jesus
Where's my financial sense? I'll tell you
Christ.
where it is. Out the window where the shop was.
Frederick,
You threw
there's
it
your
out.
answer. How much is 20 back then? That's how much 20 was back. Oh my god.
No wonder Studio C made a whole thing about what on earth are you doing? Of course, what on earth are you doing?
Oh my god.
That rephrases everything about this story.
We maybe should have changed the number when we wrote the script.
It's not about the money. Is it about the money?
God. Oh my god. That's like when, oh my god. That's like when me and my mom had an argument like a year ago about like how much we could afford. And she had a very similar job that I do now, and she made about the same amount back then. Now here's the thing, she made about the same amount back then, and so I was like, inflation's gone up, right? And so I pulled it up and I'm like, dude, you made like $5 more an hour.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't buy any silver watch chains for $788
I'm
and
not
an extra
doing
27 cents.
That's more than the new GPU I got. That's absurd. And I'll tell you what, you get more out of the $500 GPU than you do out of the gold chain.
Mm-hmm.
You would have done just fine with the leather.
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me how it's the thought that counts, not the dollar amount? Because
Unless you bankrupt your family, and there is the dollar amounts as well as that, but yeah.
if just a thought can count, why not just tell them how it was thought about? What's in it?
Asking the real questions.
Is it how smart or dumb? Is it just who it's from? What's in a gift? Something not underneath the tree.
Which I think that line is actually an argument for both ends of the aisle as well, where it's the idea of like, still, why are you doing it in the first place? Which again goes down to my personal philosophy, which is that it is kindness because you have been kindness shown, and therefore it is kindness owed.
Yeah.
But there's also this other argument of like, why not just say you love them? Which is a fair argument, I think, with that sort of logic of it's just the thought that counts. Because I think it is, if that is the philosophy that you and your partner share, or family member, or friend, or whatever,
anyone.
I think it is a logical statement to say, why not spend the day doing nothing but hanging out?
That's why Christmas traditions also exist in other ways. Watching movies, singing carols, going to church if you're so inclined. Sure. That kind of thing. Yeah. And those things I would say are just as important, if not more important, depending on the person that you are.
Sure. Yeah, that's why I say you and your
and
the other person, right? Because you could have different values.
Yeah, honestly, my favorite part of Christmas traditions that I used to have, because it's before like my aunt and uncle moved out of their house and now can't like host us as guests if we're around or whatever. Yeah, like back in the day, yeah, my favorite part was actually when they actually managed to arrange, the like going carol singing. I remember especially like the one time that that my brother and I got to sing Los Peces en el Rio, which is a Spanish carol that doesn't have a proper translation, and that was just an extra thing that we did like at the end. I didn't even perform like at a door or something, but just like to the rest of the people who were there. Not really sure. But that was, but yeah, those were some great moments too.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, it was mostly like known people. We didn't like go door to door or anything. It was like, oh, this is, whoever's responded to our messages. Which is also kind of a bit of an issue because we had like 3 people each time because they were all, significantly elderly, so they probably weren't. They probably wouldn't use like, oh yeah, please RSVP us on technology, that kind of thing.
I don't know. I think caroling is quite nice. I've never had the treat of going down the street though and having the experience of carolers down. But I've always liked the idea. I've always thought that'd be cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
Is it just the season for it? What gives? And look at these foolish kids and their foolish gifts. Look at what they did, traded in their most treasured possessions for gifts, and look what came of it.
I'm sorry. The watch ain't used to clip on like that. I thought it was. Okay, never mind. I didn't think I had clips on both sides. But there you go.
Foolish kids, what foolish kids.
I guess it has to snap onto the pants somehow.
True. Yeah.
What's in a gift?
Something precious, something free, more valuable than gold could ever be. Something so surprisingly bright and...
See, exactly. You can still put it on. What was the problem here?
I will say it doesn't look quite as good as it would be with the other hair, admittedly. But yes, I mean, at the same time, you just shoved it on. You could have just spent like 10 minutes really making like in the morning, and you could have made it look like whatever. Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah.
Something that can be replaced, something not easily explained.
By the way, I know it says something that can't be replaced. I heard can be replaced. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
So did I.
Something's lost, but what is gained is pride.
Next time you give a gift or get a gift, just think a bit, what's in a gift?
The problem with this, of course, is also the fact that like the surprise of a gift is part of it, and the fact that you can't run that by a person usually.
Phenomenal shot, by the way. Like this entire section is simulating the idea of like sitting down and just watching a sunset as like what's and following it with like this being the follow-up to what's in a gift and having them watch a sunset together. Wonderful, magnificent.
Yeah, probably the best part. Yeah. Okay, and that was Gift of the Magi from the VHS Christmas Carol set. Oh me, oh my. I guess, the fantastic visual of this aside, I guess my recommendation is that if you happen to listen to this again, close your eyes or do something else and have your headphones on, because the visuals kind of ruin a lot of this for me, actually.
Minus the end.
Minus the end, yeah. Come back to your computer screen or whatever you're using, like, for the final shot, and that's it.
Yeah, unless you want hot women, in which case you get that the whole time through, including when you're not supposed to think they're hot.
That's just basically people's experience with Starkid in general, anyway.
I don't know. It's like,
Okay. But yeah, again, I'm not sure. I have to look this up. How long is Gift of the Magi? And also, why is it called that as well? That's another thing. Like the Magi was me for other than for like the three wise men usually. Oh my goodness. Okay, on rough guess, there are 4,500 words in this book.
Okay.
At a pace averaging 250 words per minute, this book will take 0 hours and 18 minutes to read. This is a 20-minute portion, or 26 minutes portion of a video. So the fact is that it takes longer to watch this version than to read the original, which again is like you know people complain about adaptations of short text that have to have stuff like one of the Grinch adaptations, in fact. Well, they constantly have to add more and more to add like a movie runtime, or even the 20 minutes animated special was still had to add a bunch of content to it in order to make it make it match. But yeah, this feels like a similar idea to that, where okay, you have to repeat certain songs in order to have that, even if you want to like conceal some of the storyline, like you can't just like cut necessarily to Jim, maybe if you want to see like, because you don't want to ruin the twist, I guess, the twist that he sold the watch, even though even if I hadn't heard the story before, I'd be like, yeah, this is definitely where this is going. They did the same gesture for each other, and this ultimately,
I think what's also interesting. So for those of you who don't know, if you're looking for like how long to like play a game, there's quite more famously how long to beat. But there's also sister websites for basically every other media. How long to binge, or in this case, how long to read. So I pulled it up. The audiobook is about 14 minutes, which is less than this. Yeah. But what's even more amazing is that it says here, the average reader reading at a speed of 300 words per minute. This is the average reader, so not even an avid reader. This is the average person.
Oh, Google thinks it's 250 words per minute, so I guess Google has underestimated people.
At the average reader reading 300 words per minute, it would take 7 minutes to read it.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that implies the rate of like 5 words per second. I never thought about that before. There you go. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Wow then. Okay. So hopefully you can see now why this came across the way that it did, and not to mention as well, like visual-wise, the 19th clothing. Yeah, fine. The jewelry may be like a bit cheaper than it was before, but considering that they didn't inflate the prices,
they really should have changed those amounts, man.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. $21 then and now, still a pretty penny. $21 then to now? That's a goddamn miracle to afford. What the fuck do you mean?
Yeah, which incidentally, I mean, for crying out loud, like, first of all, if Della's hair grows back that quickly, and she's able to sell it for that amount when it does, I'm surprised they're still that poor, quite honestly.
Right? Just keep selling your hair.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not sure if they thought all of this went entirely all the way through. I don't know. So, but there you have it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But I don't know what the other ones are like. I guess we'll find that out potentially next week. Again, probably we'll give with the same disclaimer of if they decide they want people to take down the reactions or something, or there's like takedowns, requests or whatever, then blurring and muted audio might ensue. But I guess overall, people have now got the final thoughts of that. All three stories said in 1800 something. Oh, don't give us that, because now we can go back even further to see what the inflation rate was at that point.
Yeah, is that so? Okay. Okay. When does gift...
Also, talk about, past, present, and future here as well. It's pretty much... There's a bit of emphasis on the past, I think, if it all said 1800 something. Because, yeah, Christmas Carol we know was going to be a thing, because that's the third one, I believe. Little Match Girl, also, story from the past. But, yeah, that's another thing I didn't quite get in last year's Christmas Carol Live with, 1800 something, but all the outfits are 80s themed, which, of course, was kind of the point. But, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's not me.
So
It's
I
still the
would-
sum its parts they built and all. We have to watch it straight through to fully enjoy it.
That's fair.
Should
I will. I'm
we
going.
then? Because I don't know. I mean,
I'm going
we've
to
split
reserve.
Starkid content before.
Yeah, I'm gonna reserve judgment until we finish it.
Yeah, like as the overall product. Yeah, like if it's stronger than the sum of its parts, then that's fair because at the moment this part doesn't sum up to as much as I think people would have hoped it to for us specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've split Starkid reviews before like this, and we've still talked about the overall product at the end.
By the way, I did do the thing. First off, I looked up when it takes place. I think you're wrong, unless Starkid changed it. I think if Magi does still take place in early 1900s, from what I can tell. But to play ball, let's say it is 1800s something. I said, okay, we're gonna say something is average, so 1850. $21 in 1850. $848.89, almost $100 more. This is not getting prettier.
Yeah, I think the 800 something comes from like, you know, the long ago in London, 1800 something, 24, the day before Christmas, like that one. That was basically where that was like. So yeah.
Well, Abby, the thing is, it's not really whether we want to split it or not. Here's the thing. I really like streaming. That's a big thing for me. I love it. I understand that a lot of my streams don't get that much, but I love streaming. It's a very fun thing. And so I'm more than willing to go these like multi-hour epic length streams. That is not everyone on the Butter Bunch. I think not everyone is willing to do that. And so it is a situation of we have lives and in time zone as well. A lot of us are in different time zones than someone like Jake.
It's like 1:30 a.m. for me. That's the thing.
So here's the thing.
And I can't leave Spain right now, so I have to stay in this time zone.
Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing. I am more than and I'm sure if others were here would be more than willing. But the fact of the matter is that it's just not feasible to keep going. So we apologize, but also it does kind of have to be this way.
Also, I will say this as well, from a YouTube perspective, having super long streams does alienate a lot of people who potentially might want to, like, you know, new viewers to click on like different things. That's again, maybe this one's not the perfect example because we might take this down or unlist it or whatever. Yeah. But in general, having shorter streams is actually an advantage rather than a disadvantage when it comes to you know, good old algorithm. You know,
we love it.
Everyone likes to talk about. Yeah, exactly.
There's a reason why I just post like. There's a reason why this and the BB Butter channel are very different. Because this one, I still play a bit loosey goosey with the algorithm, but the BB Butter channel, I just cannot be asked to give a shit about it. It's just I post my own little artistic pieces there. And it's just too much of a chore to obey the waves and the ebbs and flows of YouTube.
Yeah, which, by the way, I think was kind of like the opposite to what was the intention behind the Butter Bunch, because we started this channel because we wanted to partly streamline what we were doing on our main channel, so it wasn't like as much of a mess as they were at the time, especially mine. But then once like certain things started to catch on the Butter Bunch. And actually got like viewership. Yeah. Like, oh wait, we should probably stick to these things so we don't like mess up what we've got currently. So it's like, oh wait, now it's the opposite.
Well, it's not even just that. It's that our community is completely different. Like the people that are here, like we have a little bit of people that are just here for us as individuals and will be there no matter what. But that's not many. Like the people here are never on mine or your channel. And the people on our channels never show up here for the most part. It's a very, very different type of community that we built as well, which isn't a bad thing, but it is the way that the stars have aligned.
Yeah, it's partly because we don't cross promote that much, but yes, that's also true. Okay, but so yeah, that was how we got here. But all of that is to say, yeah, we're in the stream here for right now, and we'll see what happens in the future. Also, another advantage of doing this another day, we might have Aiden. It depends.
Oh yeah, that could be cool.
Maybe he'll get to see the ugly outfits if there are more in the future. Let's see what Cyndi Lauper Match Girl is going to be like. That's an interesting combination.
Dude, here's the thing. I want to date anyone with the name Match Girl. That's such a sick name.
Well, oh right, because is that because you would match with them? That's
no, I just like fire, and I think anyone who's naming themselves Match Girl is rad.
Yeah, you and Shorty are not beating those allegations of dating, are you?
Look, fire's cool. Okay, I don't know how you guys do marshmallows, but I think because it's this season, I think this is a fair thing to bring up. I don't know many people that like to do this. A lot of people are like, oh, well, roast it over. They won't do it at all. They'll, stick it in very quickly and pull it out. I will put it in, and I will wait until it literally lights a flame, and I will wait until that fire burns out on its own before I start eating it.
That is
that. My marshmallows are burnt, and I have no regret.
Yeah, I did once have a marshmallow like that by accident. I didn't mean to burn it that much, but it was still tasty.
Right? I like it has that nice smoky
vegetarian
feel.
Marshmallow, correctly.
Yeah, it has that smoky feel that I really like on things like brisket, but it still has that like ooey gooey sort of thing that I like about marshmallows. So
you're a ooey gooey, yummy, tasty little snack.
Let's go, Evie. You love burnt marshmallow gang. Let's go.
There you go. Marshmallow gang rise up.
Gang! Woo! The little Match Girl actress makes her triumphant return to a Starkid stage.
Oh, no.
Her last show was Me and My Dick. Yeah!
No! Yeah! No! Oh, God.
Let's go, baby!
It'll never leave.
It never leaves.
Technoblade never dies. MAMD never leaves.
Let's go. Okay. In case, hey, new viewers, Jacob, not a big fan of it. I personally like Me and My Dick, and I know I make a lot of vulgar jokes here. It's not because of the reason you might think. It's because I think it's a genuinely great show.
And if you want to know how that love/hatred came about, you can check out the reviews of MAMD on the channel. Probably with the acronym. We didn't type out the full name of the musical. We just with the acronym MAMD, so it's on there.
MAMD.
Yeah. Again, we don't cross promote that much. We do promote the stuff that's on the channel for other people. So, that's another method. Anyway, I think we actually also passed like 750 or something recently, didn't we? Yeah, 758.
Ooh.
Yeah, which thanks for everyone for that, for the record. Okay. Let's get a heartwarming coming-of-age romance story. Yeah, heartwarming coming-of-age story.
I think it
has some of that.
I think it's a wonderful story about the transitionalism of the three parts of man.
Yes, the only three, of course.
Heart, mind, and soul.
The one that the soul being okay. Never mind. We're leaving that there.
You guys can watch the review because I talk about it there too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Go ahead and watch that now if you want, because we're leaving this here. So please, before you do that, let's know your thoughts on liking or disliking, and leaving your comments on, I guess, overall what you thought of this version of VHS Christmas Carol. Maybe, I don't know. And we'll see you all soon enough in another But a Bunch video. Toodle pip.
Bye-bye.